And we're back here on Home Track Heroes. About 10 laps to go with our Interstate Battery Hornets main event, 30 laps. And it is still Bobby Fischer, Christian Miller, Cole Reardon. You know, we had talked about how the points can get upset real quick. Boy, just like that, our points leader, Trent Gillespie, has gone off the track, back into the pits. Obviously something up with that car, but this could be a long night for the championship hopes for Trent Gillespie. Now we're back at 9 laps. Still have Bobby Fischer, who's just dominated this thing, showing Christian Miller in the 77 car in second place. Good shot there of Peyton Hopp and the 221 car, and getting her wound down here.
Well, and that's for Gillespie. It's really, really bad. A 20-car field, he's going to be way down the points. This is damaging in this long run, and it's going to make it real interesting over the next month or so.
Yeah, no kidding. It is still getting down there in the Interstate Battery Hornets. In fact, there comes Gillespie back out on the track. This kind of shows you, too, how important every lap you can possibly keep that car on the track. Doesn't matter which division. If this championship is what you're racing for, as the brakes get locked up there on, I believe that is the 46 car, and that could be Cooey as they make that hard right-hand turn, or excuse me, left-hand turn onto turn 1 of the 3/8. So there they go, 7 down. Still Bobby Fischer, Christian Miller, Cole Reardon, your top 3. Those two are going to play into the points thing before it's all said and done. Miller now has really done a number on that second place car as they go. He makes that turn onto the top stretch of the 3/8. And interesting to see as the race gets longer, they all start moving up. They're all starting to get wore out, I think.
Well, they've got those tires heated up. The track maybe has a little bit of oil on it. They've got a little bit of dirt down in that corner as they dive down there and keep it very, very tight. Right there, you can see it just about touching. Right there as they head down into that right-hander, left-hander, and of course now we're down the back stretch with Fischer. A nice lead with just a handful, 5 laps left to go in this 30-lap main event.
Yeah, he's out to about a second and a half, pretty much the way he's been most of the race. The 81 of Bobby Fischer is really making a statement in that Shelton finishing car. Bobby's been at this for a little bit now and has got the track figured out. Good shot there, too, of the number 15 car of Matt Snyder, Twin Peaks Pub on the side of that thing as they keep going on. Race is getting pretty near the end of it, and 30 laps has gone by relatively trouble-free for most of the people. Oh, come on, Peyton. Hang on there, buddy.
Well, and that's exactly what Fischer is afraid of. He doesn't want to see a yellow flag right now. He doesn't want to give up that big lead that he has, and it'll go away very, very quickly. And so right now he's listening. He hears noise in the motor. The rear end's rattling. He knows something's falling off. It's just the driver's nightmare time with just a handful of laps to go. Yeah,
one thing to keep in mind too, these cars, they have one-way communication, and that's with the officials up in the booth at the top of the grandstand. So if they can sneak a look at the scoreboard, that kind of gives them an idea. But I'm sure Fischer at this point is thinking, man, every time I come around turn 4, why am I not seeing this white flag? It's just got to be coming up.
Which he just saw.
He just saw it. So his dreams came true. Good job, Bobby.
And a huge lead right now as he heads off of turn 2 down the backstretch for that final time. It looks like maybe he's going to be able to put this one in the books, and a win for him, which has been, very difficult for him this year. Ran well, just not the results showing for the effort.
And there it is, checkered flag thrown by our flag man. Jonathan Peterson, who has just been phenomenal up in that stand, and he gets a lot of time to right down inside those tires you see right in the center of your screen with all of our figure 8 racing here with Figure 8 Nationals. And no, we do not have 9,999 laps to go. That would make for very not good television. So we're going to take it down trackside. Kyler Hope has got our top 3 in the Interstate Battery Hornet division in a great 30-lap race. Let's go down to Kyler.
All right, Bobby Fischer, you got the win tonight. You've been struck with bad luck the last 2 races with a late yellow. Tonight, that didn't happen. How great does it finally feel?
It's really good. I expected the yellow really late in the race, and I just kind of kept counting my laps thinking, when's it going to be? When's it going to be? But it feels really good to not get the yellow and finally get a win.
So you had that really long green flag run. What was all going through your head? Were you thinking, oh, this is going to go wrong, here comes the yellow flag? What was your biggest concern on that long green flag run like that?
You know, I just follow my lines, treat every lap like someone's on my butt, and just go with it and go till the yellow.
Who do you need to thank for getting the 81 up on top of the podium today?
I want to thank Shelton Finishing and Brad Brock, our drywall specialist. They gave me a lot of helping hand this season.
Well, you're in a Hornet. What made you get in the Brad Gruhl seat tonight?
He had to hang out with his kids, and so yeah, I offered to drive the car for him. I did a little bit of work to it this week, and it worked.
Who all do you need to thank for getting you to second place tonight?
I need to thank Raritan Racing and New World Health and Wellness and Brad Gruhl.
Third place tonight, obviously a big night for you. So tell me how much the third place trophy really means for you.
I mean, this means more than my first win. You know, I wanted to get the podium last weekend for him, but you know, this weekend's almost even better because this is his weekend in my eyes. You know, I got a shirt on right now. You know, I think the reason that I made it was because of him. You know, he was looking down on me today.
So who else besides Eric do you need to thank for the third place tonight?
Okay, I need to thank Turbo Espresso, my main sponsor, GN Northwest, Exterior Wall Systems, Hornets Nest Racing, my dad. He's done a lot for my car and a lot to help me. Yeah, just everyone that's helped me on this thing, you know.
And congratulations to all of the winners. And real quickly, we were talking about points at the beginning of it. Here's how it shook out after this race was over. Before we started the main, Trent Gillespie had the lead, Zach Bristol in second. After the main event, you can flip-flop that around. Zach Bristol is leading your points in the Interstate Battery Hornet division. So good job, Zach.
And about 3 of the top 5 moved points, and so it's tightened up a whole bunch. A bad night for Trent Gillespie, bad time to have some problems.
All right, here is where it gets kind of emotional. A lot of you who follow Home Track Heroes and follow Evergreen Speedway obviously are aware of the passing of the gentleman that drove that number 64 car right there, Eric Allison, and was just, in my estimation, the guy who just did it for absolutely every right reason possible. He did it because he loved it. He didn't go into it with an illusion of moving up to Cup or moving up to IndyCar. He did it because he had a passion for figure 8 racing. His cars always looked, and I was thinking about this earlier today, Eric's cars always look like race cars should look. You know, it had a great graphic pattern to it, and it's hand painted. Everything was, his passing put a real. It was really an eye opener for the figure 8 community and the Evergreen Speedway community.
Well, and racers love to race, and sometimes racers put racing in front of everything else,
Right.
and that's not the case with Eric. And his family was very important to him. He had a good balance to it, and I think that's why he raced within what he had, with the means that he had, and he didn't overspend or spend himself into bankruptcy or whatever, but he had fun. It was a piece of his life, a good, balanced life. And there's message there for all of us.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, we need to take the time. And we get to the racetrack, and it's life and death, and third is unacceptable and everything else. And sometimes we should just be happy to be at the racetrack. And I think we said it, over the PA at numerous times, that it is so cool that the fans are back.
Yes.
Last year, we came to realize how important that whole package. Yes, racing is important.
Yeah.
But without the fans, it wasn't as cool for Eric Allison.
Absolutely. And you can see the amount of respect. And believe me when I tell you, even though we're seeing cars lined up on top of the 3/8s, there are still a bunch of cars waiting to get into that line. So we got through that, and if we get a chance, we'll tell you a few more really cool things that happened with regard to what we happened. Let's bring you to field, shall we? In our Super Stock figure 8s, starting off in the field in the 69 is R.J. Mackey. He'll be on the inside front row. Outside of Mackey in the number 36 Hot Rod Inc. Bill Fleischacker owned, driven by Mike Stelz. Next throwback, we go to the 11 Masters of Crete. Entry of Keith Cook outside of Keith in the 55 JE. Always always fun to watch this lady run, Jessica Wilkinson.
In the third row, it's the M&M Racing number 95 of Bruce Wilson. Outside of Bruce in the Harbor Point Towing Special, the 01, the Grizz, Doug Delfell. Row 4, Mrs. Turner's Hometown Cafe of Puyallup, the many-time champion 17 car of Quentin Borson. Outside of Quentin, neat to see this guy back.
Yes,
Haven't seen
I
him
agree.
a lot. The number 58 car of Chuck Wittes.
Then we go back to the next row. Your points leader coming into the main event for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s, the 32 Cox Wheels Racing entry of Steve Cox outside. And another name that's always fun to see back in here in the number 19 is Harrison Hardwick. Next row back is from BECU, and she was immensely helpful helping the Allison family through all that they've dealt with. The number 67 of Mackenzie Dietz. Outside of Mackenzie, another car, like Tom mentioned, with Chuck Wittes. The number 21 of Merlin Cook.
In the final two rows, it's the 11X of Andrew Shukar. Shukar sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning and BNR Drywall. Outside of Shukar, in the 13 car, it's the Cox Wheels Racing 13 car of Dawson Cox. And in the final row, in the Pilchuck Heating Special, it's the 72.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this is big. Quentin Borson going around. We'll talk about that after Tom's done.
The final two cars, 72 of Jeff Talbert. Outside of Jeff, in the 007 car, Jumbo Jimmy Powers.
All right, that's your lineup for the 64 scheduled laps for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. Why 64? Again, in tribute to the car number of Eric Allison. All three of our Figure 8 divisions are running at those races. This event and this segment is brought to you by, why not, the Monroe Grocery Outlet. They're your locally owned neighborhood grocery store. They offer name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more at 40 to 70% less than traditional grocery stores. Shop them first and save with Monroe Grocery Outlet. They're the proud sponsor of our Superstock Figure 8 division here at Evergreen Speedway and have for a lot of years. So they know something good when they see it. Mike Stelz in the number 36 car in, let's see, what state do we pick on this? Illinois.
Illinois.
Yes, right. Tonight is Illinois Restart. So
Right. Who's that guy in the flag stand?
Well, let's take a look.
I mean, that's a different view.
Does he have good-looking legs?
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know if I'd go that far either, but
Come on,
yeah.
get the camera down.
Guilty
right
as,
there, look at that.
Look at that.
Get
He's
your
gonna take
chair
a
up.
seat, have a kick back,
How was the view from the flag stand for the figure eights?
It was incredible. It was just the best. I try and do that once a year. It's so much fun to call a figure 8 race from up in the flag stand. Why not? Nobody's up there, and don't tell anybody, but I kind of turned the yellows on when they needed, not during the race, but when it was apropos to do so. So they are getting lined back up. It is R.J. Mackey, or excuse me, the 11 has moved up, Keith Cook, and outside of him in the 36, Mike Stelz, former champion in the Outlaw division several years ago here at Evergreen.
Stelz is a guy who ran figure 8 racing for years, retired from his job and went dirt car racing.
Yes.
So he's back here having a blast, enjoying what he was doing. So you can see right now, Stelz in that 36 car dives down in that south end and around they go. You know, the first restart call back, when's the last time you saw Quentin Borson spin out?
I know.
Without somebody's bumper in his trunk.
Yeah, and there's Jessica Wilkinson in that 55, got nudged out of the way, and keep an eye on that one, and I think that she may have already made her early exit. She may be a couple laps down the road, but not quite the night that Jessica and that team had looked forward to. But boy, Mike Stelz is sure looking good out front. He's got Keith Cook and the Grizz Doug Delfell in that 01 car. I think extra motivation, given the fact that Eric Allison is on everybody's mind. I think that really helped Doug out because he would always pit next to Eric, and they just got along fabulously and just adored each other. So I think he really had a little extra in the tank to try and pull this one off.
Well, and these kind of races where they're a little bit longer than everything else, they fit Doug Delfell's
Yes,
style.
they do.
Nothing rattles Doug Delfell. Delfell just sits in that seat and steers that car. He's been doing it for like 47 years, and I'm not exaggerating in that case. So he knows what's going to happen. He knows every trick to be pulled in figure 8 racing, and he just has that ability. And right now, running up in that top 3, it's kind of cool to see that grizzly old veteran doing what he's doing. Right now, you got Mr. Steve Cox all over that rear bumper, and then behind Cox, It's the 17 car of Quentin Borison.
You know, and you stop and think about the years of figure eight experience those three have. Holy cow. Doug Delfelt, like we had talked about, has got a spin. The 13 of Dawson Cox, the 72 of Jeff Talbert. Jeff will get that thing back underway. That's one of those, looks like Talbert's car is like one of those old NASCAR tour cars that have been kind of converted over, and they do a great job in this. We'll be back here. Home Track Heroes here, CW11 from Evergreen Speedway.